Hello, it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and I hate to say it, but I'm just now starting my day. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, not at night, which is a good thing. And this might be a little bit of like word salad or something, but oh, here's my my ice cream mobile. The old ice cream mobile. Yeah, here it is. It's so cute right there. So it kind of just turns as you walk by it. It's very susceptible to wind and movement. So I'm going into the Etsy room, as I call it. And this is Tuesday, about 11 or so. And I'm about to sit down and do some listing, which is kind of like the bone of contention with reselling for me, is this one aspect, is getting myself motivated, honestly, to come down and do all this. And here's what I have on the table. It's not really a lot. And like there's larger items like this, which takes up room. There's probably about 20 things there or so. And that's about the amount of items that I like to do in a setting. So what I do is I will sit down, turn on my lights, and just photograph all 20, 25 items at once, just to clear the table. And then they'll go on this little rolling cart right here. So that kind of in my mind, that's step one. And then after that, then I'll make the drafts on my phone. And then after the drafts are saved onto Etsy, then I can list them, which would just be write the title, the description, the tags, the price, and whatever last minute research stuff that I need to do. But for the most part, I don't do any research or heavy research until after the item's already in draft, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until I actually need to write something about it. It's going to look the same no matter what. So that's my system. But I think the reason I'm having a little issue with motivation, if you want to call it that, it kind of stems from, being around the house when Aaron is also at the house, because it's a psychological thing, but whenever he's around and not working, I feel like it's my time off too, even though that's not true. It's an internal conflict at the same time, because I like to do all of my work like first and get it over with, be done with it, not have to think about it. And so putting it off in the moment feels like the right thing to do, because then, it's not even like we're really doing anything either. It's just that it's a mindset that he's off, I should be off. I know that's not true. But then, so yeah, it's really hard for me to get through. But I like to get all my work done on a Monday, preferably, which is the start of the week. That means all the items that I got over would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Those 4 days that I do my heavy sourcing, I can get all of those items processed and uploaded. That's the way I would love to do it. And ideally, I would do it all on that same day. So I would process probably anywhere between 20 to 40 items. It just depends on the week. And that leads me to another thing, is how many items do I try to source, list a week? And that's just based on what my goals are. But for me, it's about, like I said, anywhere between 20 to 40, but the happy spot would probably 30, probably be 30. And the way I came up with that number or that idea is that it's a trial and error thing, but you kind of have to look at your store if you're a reseller and watch it, just build it and build it and build it. And then as you start to see things sell and you start to see the money, how many items do you have to sell to get to a certain dollar amount, relatively, it can't be exact. Then you start to understand, well, that's how much I need to sell in a week in order to make it work. This is the light box area. It's not really a box, it's just a table with lights. This is where I do all my photographing, and I have an overhead light here that I ordered, I think, on Amazon for like $6. And then these were actually from Walmart, pair of those that clip onto the side of this card table. I recently switched out all of my lights to these LED ones. They're supposed to be safer than the compact fluorescents, those ones that I think they're called CFLs. Yeah, that makes sense, compact fluorescent. So they're curly cues. Now those I've had conflicting theories on, but whenever I use those, I get a really strong headache, especially if I'm doing more than 15 items. So the longer I sit here, the heavier I get a headache, and I just can't stand it. So that's one thing that I do to help alleviate some issues I have over here. So I just switched those over to these LED lights. They are bright white. I'll turn them on. And we have the 3. Like that. And that's where I do all my photographing. And then I write down the items here on this paper as I am photographing them in order. So, for instance, these I will write, just, I don't know, glitter cups, so I know what they are. And then I'll photograph them. I will measure them, and I'll write, so glitter cups, measurements. And then if it's something where I actually need to weigh it, I'll just put the weight next to it. What recently I've been doing is, because I've sold so much, I kind of have an idea of what things are going to weigh. So depending on if I want to list these as a pair or singly, probably as a pair, they'll go 3 pound rate. They're more likely 2 pounds, but with the box and everything, it's going to bump it up to 3 pounds. All right, I just wanted to show what the items look like sort of in a raw state. That's what they look like in the viewfinder. I'm going to insert a photo right here of what they look like when they've been taken with a different app. Now, the app that I use is, I think it's called Open Camera, and what I do with that is it has built into it, because this is the stock Android camera on my phone. The Open Camera app allows you to adjust the exposure. Then you can lock it once you get your exposure set, and then you can select where you want the camera to focus. So on at least camera phones, and I'm not a camera expert, but you can just click anywhere on your viewfinder screen and tell it what part of the photo you want it to be, what you want it to focus on. But on the stock Android camera that you're looking at now, that software doesn't allow for independently selecting the focus and the white balance. It wants to white balance whatever you focus on, if that makes sense. So the app that I use allows me to take all my photos the way that they're going to actually be uploaded without any extra processing. And then I just double check and make sure that all my photos are in landscape mode like this and not like this. I don't know if it flipped or anything for you, but you need to make sure they're in wide shot. And I always keep my horizon straight. So the horizon is this line that connects the base to the wall. And that's that line there. If it's crooked, you're going to have pictures like that. Or you're going to have them like this, which is not good either. So if I want to look at the side of something, well, then I just take it so that the object, this is a bad example, it's a cylinder, but I just rotate the object, not the camera, because I don't want to be falling off the cliff over there. Just a little camera tip while I was thinking about it. Okay, I'm already getting a headache, so the lights weren't really much of a fix. But I've done, I don't know, probably about 15 listings. I need to sharpen my pencil. I tried sharpening it, but it didn't really go very well. As you can tell, it sort of just, I don't know. Yeah. So I've got those items left to go right there. And then, so I really only have gotten these done. I'm just going to turn these lights off and take a little break in the dark. And then I'll try to, oh my gosh, I'll try to power through the rest. I know does not seem like much, but these lights really mess with my head and I need bright lights. Otherwise the photos won't look good. So yeah, I'm just sitting in the dark right now. It feels so much better. I mean, I've considered wearing sunglasses when I do this. I don't know if it's a light issue with the lights, coming through the retina, or if it could be radiation. I doubt that it's radiation at this point because these are LED bulbs and apparently not supposed to really emit that much radiation, whereas the CFLs do. And of course, the best bulbs to get would be the incandescent or halogen, and those don't emit any radiation. These are, I think, they're over 60 watt equivalent. They're probably, I think, 100 watt equivalent because they need to be. This is really my tricky spot and where I have the most trouble like getting things done is these photographs, and I think it's because it gives me headaches. That's a very strong reason. It's not even a huge headache. It's just this it's in the forehead, sort of behind the eyes. Sort of feels like nauseating. Kind of has that feeling. And so almost like I need to go sit in the dark, sort of from a migraine, but it's not as intense as a migraine. So if anyone has any ideas on that. And as easy as that, I've talked myself into taking a break completely because I want it to go away, and I'm just over it right now. If I had it my way, I would hire someone to do that, but that's just not feasible. Stella, what are you doing up there, honey boo boo? She's up on the top of the stairs. Yes, you are. My flowers. They are. You are pitiful looking, guys. Just let them sit there. One good thing that I did yesterday, we went to Walmart and I picked up some mineral oil for this lamp. And it's right here. It took me forever to figure out where mineral oil was at Walmart. I finally had to ask, like, one of the stocking people. He pointed me right to it. I was in the automotive section looking for mineral oil. Anyways, I filled up the Goddess rain lamp, plugged it in, and it didn't do a darn thing. The light turned on, and I was like, oh no. And I was thinking like, okay, the guy told me this thing works. And then he said after that, if it doesn't work right when you plug it in, just give it a couple minutes. I waited about 10 minutes. I was like, whatever. I was just kind of annoyed with it, and I'd walked away. And then all of a sudden I came back over here and I started hearing the motor going, sort of out of nowhere. Like it started after it was plugged in, because I was listening for it right when I plugged it in. And so about after 8 to 10 minutes after it being plugged in, it decided to turn the motor on, and it worked. There she goes. It is working like clockwork. Beautiful. So yeah, all it took was just some mineral oil. Just filled it up about 2 pints worth and plugged her in, waited about 5 to 10 minutes, and it turns right on. It's just amazing how it drips down like that. I think what I'm going to do is, in a few days probably, unplug it, take it outside, dump out all the oil, wash it up the best I can, and then list it online. Yeah, I've thought about it. It's just not really my style. it's not on my list of things that I wish I had. So I find it cool, but there's other people out there that's going to like it a lot more than me. And that'll be great for them. This is not actually a very good spot for it at all, even though it looks very nice here. This cord, I have an extension cord going, across the room. So that doesn't work, but it does look nice against that stone. Okay, so this day is just really, really an odd one. I took a long break from doing photos. I still got half the table to do, but it's getting late and I have to do my orders to send them out to the post office before they close. I have a little baby bin alarm clock going out, and I just had an order from a subscriber. Her name is Gloria, and she bought some butterflies. I guess I'll pull those right now. So I'm kind of glad then that I waited. Oh, and it's only $2.52. Here I am thinking that it's like $3 something. Getting there though, aren't we? That's the clock that they want. And then, and then the butterflies. She got 2 sets of them. She got the solid looking ones and the ones that are they more look like, I want to say bamboo or something, but that's not right. So she got, and I keep all that kind of stuff over here. She got these set right here. That's what I was trying to describe. It's not bamboo, but it looks kind of like that twisted wood. So she got the set of 3 of those, like that. And then she also got the set of 2 solid ones. I usually don't film this, so it's kind of harder for me. And they are right here. So we got those. So that's awesome. And those will go to Gloria if you're watching that. There's your butterflies. All right, so now we're gonna go to the post office real quick. And then I'll have that out of the way. Then I'll try to get the rest of my photos taken. So I was able to get through the majority of the table. There's still about 8 to 10 things that I didn't do. The sunglasses, I tried them. It didn't work. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of everything. If you want more of these kind of day in the life videos, I can do some more of them. And I do have a haul coming up, I think. I have not been really sourcing that much this last week or two, but I am going to switch back into gears and start buying some more things. It just seems like I've been buying a lot lately and the sales are trickling out and I'm kind of getting tired of that. So I'm just kind of just waiting for a big rush of sales to come through and save the day and make me feel better. But you can't always control that. That's the biggest thing to learn in reselling, is it's out of your control. Many things are in your control, but you can't force someone to buy something from you. You can't.